week's episode of Seraph of the End, Vampire Reign. Mika and the vampire army are gearing up for war, and Guren Ichinose schools the trainees of the Imperial Demon Army. Wham! Bam! Guren Ichinose is the baddest mother in Seraph of the End. He is definitely my favorite character in the series thus far, and that's saying a lot because this show has some amazingly great characters in it. I mean, Shinoa Hiragi is amazing. She's cute, she's adorable, she's smart, she's funny, she's got a big badass scythe. Her father just happens to be this giant half-mechanical man with a badass eye patch who happens to be leading the Imperial Demon Army. Yeah, that's Tenri Hiragi. This guy is awesome. What a great character design. Just the minute you see this character, you know he is going to be awesome, and they're probably going to be holding off on him, but his character design is just so cool. That crazy massive eye patch, the mechanical arm, I cannot wait to see this guy in action. And this scene is great because it firmly establishes how awesome Guren is, how he gets right to the point about things. He doesn't follow anyone's rules, not even his own. He just skips out of the meeting because it's boring, and he has a nice encounter with Yu, who tries to drop kick him, but then he ends up just beating his ass, and this is where we learn he's finally going to get his weapon in this episode. But it's going to take a little bit of time before we get there. But I will say, this week's episode had some pretty nice, juicy animation going for it. Not just during the action scenes, but just getting to see the characters hang out with each other in class, interact with each other, and have that nice, funny scene where Shinoa was running around with Yu's test because he got a 0. How in the hell are you going to get a 0 on a test? It doesn't even matter, because even though this test is supposed to affect the weapon they're going to get, it doesn't matter, because Guren just decides to interrupt class, and he pulls out his cursed weapon, and he basically tells the class, if you can withstand this demonic energy, then you'll be worthy to actually have this weapon. If not, well, try again next time. And of course, our main characters are the ones who are going to make it out of this. Of course, we have Kimizuki, we have Yu, but a nice surprise is that Yoichi actually has a very strong resistance to the demon energy, and this might actually have something to do with the fact that he had some weird, crazy encounter with that vampire, with his sister. I'm not really sure. Maybe his will and drive is just that strong. He might be more badass than we actually realize. I also just want to say, when Guren actually activates his weapon and uses it in the classroom, the animation here looks so amazing. Just the way all of this dark energy just poured through the walls and the floor and erupted from his body and slowly covered the entire class like a dark miasma of madness. It was freaking awesome. At the very end of the episode, Yu and his friends are finally about to get their weapons, and they have to go down this massive elevator which goes to this underground cavern which has these massive demon statue faces all over the place. And each statue has this weapon which is corresponding to it. So they're all going to have to choose a weapon, draw it, and then they're actually going to have to fight against this demon, and if they can defeat it, then they'll be able to use the weapon. If you've seen the intro of the show, you know exactly what type of weapons these guys are going to get. Of course, Yuichiro is going to have his katana blade, you have Kimizuki who's going to get those two blades which are connected like by some sort of chain, and then of course you have Yoichi who is going to be a resident archer of the series. The episode ends with our characters drawing their weapons and getting ready to go into battle. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Seraph of the End? This week's episode had some great animation throughout the whole thing. That first scene at the beginning, when you see Yu getting ready to do this long, massive drop kick right to Guren's head, you just know, oh yeah, this is going to be a very nice episode. And throughout the whole episode, it continued. Like, in the whole classroom scene, just the way the characters moved and bounced around when Yu was sliding across the desk and everything, that looked really nice. When Guren came in and activated his weapon, that looked so freaking amazing! Just how the entire atmosphere of the classroom was able to change in just an instant, and just the way they animated it, the way it like exploded from his body, it looked real weird. It was like tendrils and tentacles coming out of the walls. It was really freaking creepy, and I cannot wait to see more of what his powers are going to be. And I love the fact that they're teasing that these weapons are not just going to be just what they are at first glance, just these weapons. You know, obviously, Yuichiro's blade is probably going to have some sort of special quality to it, and I really can't wait to see what that's going to be. Is he going to summon some sort of dark power? Is he going to be able to shoot something from the blade? Is the blade going to become bigger or transform into something? we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with that. All the stuff with the vampires at the beginning, really just more of the same. In fact, a lot of that was reused from last week's episode, which is the vampires getting ready to go to war, and then the scene with Mika looking all ominously over as the ships are getting ready to go to war. Just nothing crazy there. But all the stuff in the classroom was good. Kimizuki and Yuke still constantly fighting each other with their cross-counter punches. I thought that was pretty cool. And just all the animation there. It just all looked really, really good. And the artwork was nice. That cavern at the end looked really creepy and ominous with the giant demon faces. I love this show. It's really, you know, like I said, it's not mind-blowing or anything, but it's just really fun to watch. I really like it a lot. So that's really all I have to say. Watch this episode, especially if you've been following the anime. If you're a fan of the manga version, check it out. You might see something you like. I really like this one a lot. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Check it out, Seraph of the End fans. Pretty good stuff. So I liked this episode a lot. Great animation, cool action scenes, and that great cliffhanger ending. But what about you guys? What did you feel about this week's episode of Seraph of the End? Please tell me in the comment section below. Did you have a favorite scene, a favorite character who showed up? What do you think of that Tenri Hiragi guy? What do you think of his badass design? And what do you think is going to happen in the next episode? What type of demons they're going to fight against and what powers they're going to have? Please tell me in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching my review. Make sure to like it and share it with all of your friends. Remember, liking the video is easily one of the best ways to help out our channel. You can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That way you can see all of our latest manga, anime reviews, and our brand new video podcast show. It's pretty awesome. You can also follow us on social media. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby.